There's something hiding in your eyes. You keep it and don't ask me why. Let me take that weight off you tonight. There's something hiding in your mind. Don't let go. I feel you when you're close. No need for talking, just move me nice and slow. Give it up, give it up. Come and show me what you want. Put your body close to mine. Stay with me and take your time. Give it up, give it up. Baby, keep me up tonight. The way you give it up, give it up. Come and show me what you want. Put your body close to mine. Stay with me and take your time. Give it up, give it up. Give it up, give it up. There's something hiding in your eyes. You keep it and don't ask me why. Let me take that weight off you tonight. Come put your body next to mine. Don't let go. I feel you when you're close. No need for talking, just move me nice and slow. Give it up, give it up. Come and show me what you want. Put your body close to mine. Stay with me and take your time. Give it up, give it up. Baby, keep me up tonight. The way you move, I know it well, and I can read it in your eyes. Your body, your body, your body, your body, 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 body. I don't want distance, I want you here, right now, right here. Come put me in. I gotta be honest, I want you back. And when you touch me, I lose my head. Don't slow down. I like it when you hold me close. No need for talking, just move me nice and slow. Give it up, give it up. Come and show me what you want. Put your body close to mine. Stay with me and take your time. Give it up, give it up. Baby, keep me up tonight. The way you move, I know it well, and I can read it in your eyes. Give it up, give it up. Your body, give it up. Put your body close to mine. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Put your body close to mine. See me more, love me, now you they make me soft. And I know they fake this thing real enough. Damn baggy, don't let go. You feel like peace to me. I've been moving so low, but now I wanna be. When I say I wasn't, you don't say much, but I feel it though. You make it feel simple, like I've been here before. Damn baggy, don't let go. I feel you in my soul, even when we quiet, you still feel like home. When I say I wasn't, you don't say much, but I feel it though. You make it feel simple, like I've been here before. Damn bangy, don't let go. I feel you in my soul, even when we quiet, you still feel like home. When I say I wasn't, I love her, you done move like no one else. I love when I say I wasn't. When I say I wasn't, see me moke, you got me here for real. I love when I say I wasn't. When I say I wasn't, you done move like no one else. I love when I say I wasn't. I love when I say I wasn't. When I say I wasn't, see me moke, you got me here for real. I love when I say I wasn't. When I say I wasn't, you done move like no one else. Say me more, love me, now you they make me soft. And I know they fake this thing real enough. Damn baggy, don't let go. You feel like peace to me. I've been moving so low, but now I wanna be. When I say I wasn't, you don't say much, but I feel it though. You make it feel simple, like I've been here before.
kam si ai po njëjtun ullën dova.
Keton që nuk je si ai, dole ma si se ai. Keton se m'lëndon si ai, keton që nuk je si ai, dole ma si se ai. Keton se m'lëndon si ai.
Edhe në kursi në lele, dashin të mja valele. E në tjera si në lele, Mr. Nova valele. Edhe në kursi në lele, dashin të mja valele. E në tjera si në lele, Mr. Nova valele.
Po mama, ky gesa një bundi që ma dha. Po nuk po vuju jo, bese kombri që jo njëjta ta. Keton që nuk je si ai, dole ma si se ai. Keton se m'lëndon si ai, keton që nuk je si ai, dole ma si se ai. Keton se m'lëndon si ai,
Edhe në kursi në lele.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday so far. It's about to come to the end, actually. So, new week coming up, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting for many of you guys actually just getting ready for the week of trading. I mean, I'm not sure who on here is brand new or if you're already experienced, but the main purpose with these calls, guys, I mean, it's kind of really just straightforward, right? Again, if you're pretty much someone who watches, then you're probably not going to answer this question, but let me know, those who actually participate inside the markets, those who are currently active, whether it's on your practice demo, a funded account, let me know in the chat, how long you've been inside the trading space. Because again, the ones that pretty much would answer, it's either you're on your computer ready, set to actually participate and really just get your trading, really focused, structured. But I mean, at the same time, I don't want to just kind of just speak off of like like too new, too advanced. But actually, it's perfect. I mean, and many of you guys don't know, my name is Neri, and I have been actually trading for quite some time now. And one of my most favorite things to do inside trading is to simplify it as much as possible, right? You can probably be the most beginner person coming in this, but I have full conviction and I have full confidence that if you're actually someone who really wants to learn trading, and we're not talking about like the actual like the trading lifestyle, like I'm not I'm not here to bash anything. I think I'm just here to speak on my own experience because I think that's the best thing that we can do. But I will say though that when you come inside this space inside Powerhouse and really just learn these markets, I think you would really be proud of yourself on how much you would actually learn if you stay focused within these current markets here and do the best that you can within the learning aspect, within actually coming inside these calls and doing the best that you can to participate and to really find out what it is that you're trying to do, right? Now, just to kind of go straight to it, guys, because we do have a split session, right, with trading and as well too with crypto investments. And let me tell you this right now. I see the number currently where we're at, and I will say, right, that it's kind of crazy, right? And I could be talking about myself when I say this, but I think it's kind of crazy to see, right, where the transfer of money is actually going. I mean, guys, as a trader, especially maybe if I'm speaking to the funding community, I know the goal typically is like to find those quick setups, go for your 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk to rewards and really probably call it a day. But I think if you start to look out, right, if you start to really start to expand the transfer of money, you've actually be pretty surprised on how much money has been invested into the, other assets. Fun fact, did you know, I know this is this is probably not the call for it. And I don't think I'll get in trouble for saying this, but let's actually do some research real quick. How much money was deposited inside let's see here. What's it called? Casho, the app, right? Inside these betting communities. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. So far, like you could bet $10 now, but total. I want to see how many total. How much total deposit how much total amount, I think total amount was betted during Kalshi. That's what it's called. Sorry. I bet it once and that was it. I don't know if I can say that. And I lost. Okay, but going back to it, I mean, like let's kind of look at this real quick. I mean, guys, look at this. We're talking about $30 billion in volume was in the last month for betting in sports, things like that. So I asked myself this one question, right? Which is why I hope and I implore you guys to stay at the final of this call, that split of this call, is for you to actually pay attention to this, is that many people, right? $30 billion of volume was inside sports betting apps. And you ask yourself, all that money is being transferred somewhere. People are spending. It may, and this is what I believe in, there will never be an amount of people running out of money. I think that is a false idea. I believe that there is a transfer of where money goes to, the direction. Some people say, "Oh, I can't learn this month, or I can't invest this month because I have other things to do." But it's like, it's not that you can't invest. You can still invest. The problem is that what you're doing is your money is just being transferred somewhere else. And so everybody's money has been transferred into sports bettings. And I will say this, right? It's allegedly, right? Allegedly, I would say that Neri probably had a little fun in. But I will say though, it's crazy how much emotion, right? Emotion you get whenever you are. So like I said, at the end of this call, please, 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 and maybe my pleases that I'm asking you to do is staying here probably doesn't mean anything. But what I will say though is, if you don't, then I mean, I probably am pretty confident that you're following these numbers, and it's not a bash. It's more of like, where is that money going? Because if it's not going into your future, right, your investment, then I mean, yeah, it kind of puts me like, whoa. But let's kind of look at this real quick, guys, because we got a few minutes before we actually shift the focus to the investing side, which is what I'm actually that's my fan favorite stuff. And really here for anybody that is trading MYM, or even if you are still trading like CFDs for like for US 30, I mean, the chart's still the same thing. I will say, of course, the ticker is a little bit more different, and we can go way more into depth, buying power, et cetera, et cetera. But for now, because the community, I do see you guys actually focus on MYM, we're going to actually speak this language instead. And I will say this, right? Drop a number 2 if you're still along with me, if you're still following along, if you're not asleep, because it is 9 p.m. right now. Actually, I'm in the middle of I'm in the middle of cooking right now, my meal preps and stuff. And I got asked to be on this call, and luckily enough, I'm grateful that at the end of the day, I know I'm asked to be able to be on with you guys, because you could be anybody else, but it's me, right? It's me. But let's go. So MYM, right? MYM we have here going on specifically, guys. If you don't have your charts open, straight, I'm just gonna say it as your friend, you're tripping. Open up those charts right now as we speak, right? On your phone, on what it is. Because on a 4-hour time frame, if you're not paying attention to this, then you probably won't pay attention to the rest of this call. But on a 4-hour time frame, right, we can see that MYM on a bigger scale, we have the market actually scaling to the upside, as we go. You just keeping trading pretty simple here, because that's my main go-to, is that over time, we do see on a 4-hour time frame that, yes, for those who actually take swinging positions, MYM is actually shifting and created all this liquidity before the shift to the downside is what we're paying attention to before the big reversal. But over time, right, for the past how many 100, no, 30, 31 days, almost a month now, guys. Almost a month now have we been actually inside this area building up money, right? Building up money, as we go, liquidity being stacked up. And now we're seeing MYM actually starting to work a little bit more lower. But if we really take away, right? Let's take away all these wicks and focus on just the market structure specifically. I mean, guys, you can actually see it here on this 1 hour time frame. MYM is still shifting a bit lower. We have that higher high, market crashes over here, and I use that in lower cases, crashes, because it's not really crashing. So no panic selling, guys. But when I say it moved to the downside, right? And it just gives us this change of character and market, trading above these areas. But it looks like it really just came down, attacking these lows where we have these areas here before the market shifted up once last again, actually leaving equal highs, right? That's actually some money right there. Because you have to realize one thing, the market's moving where the most money is, but the market is moving where it's more, right? Where it's more, I would say more irrelevant, because eventually it will clear out that money. Liquidity is everywhere. I mean, we can point out so many liquidity spots that we could, target. But I do believe that since everything is targeted specifically in an intention and like a chess piece game, I believe that liquidity pretty much is the one that gets hit out where it actually is relevant. And so right now, maybe not tomorrow in the morning, we may not see market just shift to the upside. Again, I don't know yet. I'm still analyzing here. But, we do see that there is money just sitting here, okay? And the fact that we had MYM actually also stacking all this liquidity shifted the market to the downside right over here with this institutional candle, right? Because you got to find that one candle that breaks out of this lower point. All this money being built up before that institutional push, right? From where it begins to where it ends. You got to highlight that right there. You see that the market, it actually was playing tricks, right? Look at this. Market touched. It is not a coincidence that the market actually bounces off the mitigation zone, okay? Because there's some type of buying power in here that was actually trying to happen. People got into this buy position, and then all of a sudden what happened? The market actually shifting out lower before it clears out the stop losses, shifts to the upside, doesn't really hold, right? It's not really holding this, and I believe we're probably going to still get this a lot more lower. Right. And if we go on a 30-minute time frame, right? If we go on that 30-minute time frame, I'm kind of curious to see what actually prints out over time, because I'm not going to say that this is the fact that we're going to see some mitigation. What I don't like about this zone specifically is that we do have the liquidity being built up here, this institutional push to the downside. And yes, we get a fast movement to the upside. But the only thing that I'm not liking is the fact that when we're working our way lower here, it was pretty much not probably my best favorite structure, I would say, about this. But I'm believing this because I'm more of a bigger time frame. I believe big wicks like to get filled in. I believe that this right here is a stop loss. And I believe that this is relevant liquidity where potentially people will actually try to get into the zone here. But I believe like it probably can see us a lot more lower, right? Because the fact that we're stacking up liquidity in certain areas, I mean, guys, look to the left side. The left side will give you more information, okay? Always look to the left. Drop a number 1 in the chat if you're still with me, okay? Because I see a lot of 2s in the chat, but now drop a number 1, okay? So as you can see, right, we have all these orders being stacked on the left side, okay? And you have all this money being built up. Oops. All this money being built up right over here. And I believe that if MYM is working its way lower, we're going to come down lower here. We're going to come down lower into this big wick here where we have money also being built up as well too. It's like this is just money just being stacked. So as you take this information, right, when you're marking up your charts, what do you see going on, right? Could you see the market go a little bit more higher? And if it does, okay, use your analysis, right? Use your own analysis to figure out why is it that I have personal high conviction that I could see the market go a lot more higher. But if we're just kind of keep trading pretty simple, right? Simple and straight to the point. I mean, guys, look at this. Let's just look what we see currently. All right. Market shifting, breaks this last lower low, right? Pushes up, lower high. Now what do we have? Another lower low. Anybody here want to fight the market direction? Drop a number 3, right? And that's a tricky question right there, okay? That's a tricky question. Don't drop a number 3. You want to fight the markets, okay? Because if you're trying to give money away, this is a joke. You can give the money to me, okay? That's a joke, But that's what I would really say for MYM right now. I personally would like to just wait to see what we actually get probably tomorrow, right? Inside in the morning to actually maybe we might get some shifts here, right? Maybe we might get some shifts here that the market might just give us. But just because look at this, I see this as relevant liquidity. Okay. We have more signs of downward movement, right? And then the fact that there's money, right? Could tomorrow something shift? Who knows? Maybe something like this may happen where if this comes lower, comes lower like that, we could see something like that happen, right? Look at this. Oops. Right? I got to hurry up with this because I'm almost running out of time here. But look at this. What if we get something like this tomorrow? Or maybe, right? Pay attention to this, right? Pay attention real quick. Right here. What if we get something like this tomorrow? Where the market's working its way lower, comes back higher, right? Maybe. Could look like that. All right, pay attention to this. Because I don't think this buying area that what I just marked up is going to work out. Just in the way how I personally trade. I could see this more so because this is actual liquidity here. And then the institutional candle, if you really want to get super specific from where it begins, it's really this candle right here, this entire movement. But the fact that we haven't broke this change of character area is what I'm actually pretty concerned about. And I would personally rather wait until the market does something like this. Because if you're keeping trading pretty simple, right? If you're keeping trading pretty simple, I mean, just go back to the basics, guys. I mean, the thing is this, where is it at? Trading outline modules. Keep it very simple. This is the exact same thing. Your goal is not to make it harder. Your goal is to keep it so dumb simple where it's like, wow, I would be dumb enough to actually go against the easy information that's given me, right? So as crazy as this sounds, to my advanced people, they're probably not listening to me because we're probably too good to believe market structures is not there. It's still there, right? It's still there. And I see this, you have a higher high and a higher low, and then that breaks. But the fact that in this example here, look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. That didn't break. Okay. We saw, this is my example I left behind, right? You see this example here? This hasn't happened yet. We have consolidation, push the upside, then this happens. This has not broken that change of character. Okay. So I'm not saying sell now, but what I am saying is that when you see this little examples, the ghost bars that I'm showing you here, and drop a number 4 in the chat if you're still with me, is that what you're going to do is you have to wait until we see the change of character there, right? And that's the reason why I believe that, with time, it's pretty important. And I say this in a trading's eyes perspective. I don't personally trade Sunday just because if it's not there, it's not there. But I have seen a lot of people successfully trade Sundays with gold or maybe a markup that they had on Friday and they're waiting for the markets. But as of today, I may be that person that's just like, bro, Nary, where's the live trading setups? That's what this call is for. Well, this is a potential setup. Okay. This is a potential setup that now you have to be in a point in your life to actually say, am I going to wait for this? Right? Because now let's pay attention to NQ. Okay. NQ real quick. So with NQ, right, we're actually seeing NQ kind of leading. Interesting. Mira esto, mira esto. ¿Sí lo ven ustedes? You guys see this? So with MQ, right, we're starting to see NQ actually be the leading pair of the fact that it's actually going a lot more lower. But the only thing is, right, we do see this small little bounce. Okay. And we're going to go to small time frame, but let's look where the relevant liquidity is at. Okay. Interesting. There's money there on a bigger direction. It could be coming here. And I mean, we could go into detail and showing you, like, of course, there's imbalances, liquidity here, this, and that. But what I will say though is now let's just drop on that smaller time frame, because we're seeing lower high, breaks this lower high right over here, and now we're having market actually maintain below. That's just on a 4-hour time frame. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame. You guys see this? Mira esto, mira esto. Aquí parece que hay algo aquí, right? And here it might be something, right? But I will say though is it enough? I mean, you do have this little slight, little taking out equal lows type of thing. You had this nice area where it did shift to the downside. Could this area actually hold? Because at the end of the day, it is showing nice market structure. It's not my favorite, right? But if we compare it to NMQ, I mean, we could get this to actually kind of potentially react, because maybe this is working a lot more lower, or maybe it could go lower. Let's pay attention to correlation. What if this does go lower? Okay. And for NQ, what if this does go lower? And if this is actually showing a 15-minute time frame, right, and we're going based off of scalping perspectives, we could probably get this to actually hold a bit. I would just go for maybe like a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, nothing more than that, because when it comes down to exits, you got to ask yourself this one question: how am I going to exit out? Is it more of a fixed reward or a technical aspect? I mean, in this case scenario, we're looking at the market, and even if we did get into this, I would just go for this inefficiency that we have right over here of this candle, right over here, that you guys can see the imbalance. And if you wanted to actually use Fibonacci, look at this from the lower point to higher point. It sits nice inside the 786 and 886 zone. And the fact that it does that, right? The fact that it does that, we can actually pay attention to this now, that we could get something like this. I would just go for a 1 to 2, guys, if you're going to trade something like this. 1 to 2, just because I do see the market actually still going against our favor of maybe still going a lot more lower. But just going based off of market structure and counter trending this trade, it could be a good trade to actually just get into for support and resistance, but actually feeling inside what's inside this imbalance here, as you guys can see. And I would be going for actually going for an what's it called, a fixed exit. I mean, the only thing is this, like, there's this true imbalance would actually come down to this imbalance right over here, because as you can see, I'm just narrowing down inside that imbalance. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like this, if it comes to this small imbalance there. It's like a 1 minute candle. But I mean, if we're just looking at a 5-minute time frame perspective, this entire thing would be the imbalance I like to see get filled in. Maybe we could see something like this. Or what's also interesting, I'm not trying to see things with my eyes, but is let's just see how it actually folds. But I would wait. Let me put this note here. Wait for more. Oops, this has worked. Wait for more confirmation. Drop a number 2 in the chat if you're still with me. Confirmation. A girl can't speak. Confirmation. Cool. Nice, everybody. Cool. I hope you guys are awake. I mean, I'm awake. I'm fired up. Not in a hype way, but I'm actually pretty fired up right now. I didn't have enough time to actually tell you guys why, but let's see here. But now we're here, right? Now we're here with this market. Yummy. Okay. Bienvenida, amiga. Ya tengo tiempo sin verte. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat right now. I'm glad to see you here. Let's see here. So, okay, this is an old setup that we did, but we missed it by a few pips that day, and it was just insane, right? It was actually a Tuesday. Oh, it was actually for a Tuesday call that we did here, for New York session, as you can see. Now for MES, I mean, we're still here. Also looks very similar to what NQ looks like, so this might work a little more lower. So if you are going to be taking NQ, I would just really look into the perspective of taking that trade. Don't take it the long distance. Go that short counter trend time frame and call it ends. If you wanted to test out a 1-to-1, which you got to ask yourself, like, is that the most best risk to reward in your favor? You probably be taking 1-to-1s if you have a high, winning rate, I would say. Just because like you're taking 1-to-1s, we can go to do the math, but I'm leaving that line there because I'm just going to keep it for evidence so I can kind of see in the future how that works. But preferably, I would like to take it here on a 1-to-2 level perspective here. But guys, besides that, I'm actually running out of time here. Let's kind of look at real quick oil, right? Oil. Aceite, like petróleo. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, look at this. Nice. So petróleo pretty much has all this liquidity being built up. And fun fact, no ink complaints for this, but petróleo is actually the pair that has made me a lot of success inside my trading because of bigger time frames and understanding the direction from it. And what I will say though is that from oil, right, you can see that oil actually is forming a setup here inside this liquidity area, institutional candle to the downside. And then we have the imbalance that rips to the upside. But the only thing, it's a long way down. All right, this is going to be a really bigger time frame. So I know it's not like a 1-minute setup. I'm not a fan with trading 1-minute setups or 5-minute setups with oil. I would rather actually take oil setups and trades on long terms and swinging it. But for now, I think this would be a good opportunity for us to see oil actually come into this area here. And so besides that, I'm not really the gold person. If you're gold, I mean, you can drop your charts inside the chat. Let us know inside the chat. Don't be hiding stuff. Drop your links inside the chats and let us know what you got for gold for all my gold traders. But for let's see, plata, for silver, right? We got silver over here, and for silver, this is more of something I'm kind of waiting. And I will say this about gold. Now that I'm speaking about silver, no one's really paying attention to gold, right? And so when I say that, what goes through my head is that I was learning this from Austin, and Austin was kind of giving me some game. And he's actually, you guys know him. He's inside the community. So it's like he was giving me some game here, and we were talking about like gold, on how people's mindsets were really just trying to fight this market and buying gold into these areas. And he just didn't understand why people were trying to buy, while gold is just showing you just simple techniques of it wanting to work a lot more lower. So for gold, I mean, nothing too much I have for you. I think I would actually leave this for the gold traders. I'm just not a gold person. Why? Because my evidence and my trading style from how I've seen the market just doesn't respect the mitigation setup that when I trade. I think that's on a 1 hour to 4 hour time frame. I have a lot of back testing evidence that it just didn't work. It was like out of 1 to 5, probably only once it would hit on a bigger time frame. But when I went down to a smaller time frame for scalping, those were actually hitting. So I will say that if I did have an opportunity to trade gold on a scale like this, then I would trade on a 1 minute time frame, just because I know my evidence, right? I know my evidence and I understand what works best for me. And what works best currently is the fact that gold, right? You can even see this on a 15-minute time frame, right? This is that 15-minute time frames is the max I would take a setup for gold. It's just my rules, simple as that. But it looks like we kind of missed that. So we have the institutional push to the downside, the imbalance to the upside, market comes down, and price just reacts. So that's just something that you can actually just do there. Neri, if you want, you can pull up that chart. Looking at gold shorts. You see, like that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta kind of let me know inside the chats. I'm just not the gold person for y'all. Just don't trade it. My setup just doesn't work with it. But what I will say though is the way how J7 and Samuel, the rest of you guys are actually trading. Definitely don't hold it back. Share inside the chat. So besides that, guys, I will be shifting the focus now to the man, the myth, the legend. We have Jean-Luc on the call. And like I told you earlier, all right, if you're still on this call paying attention, I will say congratulations. But don't just give yourself a pat on the back with that. I will say that you got to really focus in on the next steps, what he's about to talk to you, and take some action plans here. I know that inside the markets, we went in depth with them pretty too quick, but I will say though that that's why Learn Now is there on Zinrai inside Powerhouse. So one thing I will leave you off with this. When it comes down for you to really start investing, right? Because remember, $30 billion of volume was inside sports bettings. Interesting. And now we're seeing some shifts inside these markets. And I'm pretty excited to see what Mr. Jean-Luc has to say about that. So, guys, I'll leave him to it. And Jean-Luc, I'm gonna go and actually just unmute you real quick so that way you can have some spotlight, man, because we're pretty excited to see what you got going on. So let me see here. Give me a second, everybody. I bet. Let's see here.
Okay, so you're making your it's like all right.
Let me know. Can you hear me?
Spot that it's like you have to pay extra.
Sweet, cool. All right, put a 10 in the chat if you guys can see me and hear me. Just at a coffee shop. Not the most ideal, but I want to make sure everyone can see me and hear me. Put a 10 in the chat. Let me have a little look on YouTube. I think there's a slight delay, so yeah, put a 10 in chat if you can see me and hear me. I want to make sure it's all good. I got the video on my laptop and I got the audio on my phone. So let's make sure it's all good. Neri, feel free to message me as well if audio and video is working. Say less. All right, cool. Amazing. This is brilliant. Cool. So yeah, no, Neri absolutely killed it. Really grateful for you, Neri, because I know it was fairly last minute. Habibi dipped, he just left me to my own devices, went to do refereeing, but it's all good. I'm excited to dive into the investing side of things, because it's absolutely essential, so important. Neri, yeah, just make sure the host is on my laptop, not my phone. So make sure it's on the video. But yeah, because like, guys, a lot of us, we're trading regularly, whatever it is, like gold, silver, indices, Forex. But one thing that I learned and that I realized is that most of us don't have a stock portfolio. And most of us aren't putting in the gains from trading into the stock market. We're just not. If I was to ask you, how many of you have withdrawn profits from trading? Let me see what you guys would say. Put a 5 in the chat if you've withdrawn profits from trading in your whole trading career. Like at some point in your trading career, you've withdrawn profits. Put a 5 in the chat if that's you. Whether it's $5, whether it's 50, 5,000, whatever it is. I want to see how many of us have withdrawn profits from trading. Put a 5 in the chat.
It's like most people are using all
Samuel, Dudley Trades,
Green was our last.
Matteo, Yamila, Gonzalez, like a bunch of us, right? But then here's the next question. How many of us, and you don't have to answer this, but how many of us have put some of those profits into the stock market? Not crypto, but into the stock market. You guys know the answer. The truth is not many, including myself for a very, very long time. And some of you know me as like, the crypto person, but I'm in stocks too. It's just as important. In fact, it's more important. And the reason why is because if you line up 100 millionaires, like 99, in fact, not even that, 100% of millionaires, 100 of the 100 have a stock portfolio. But if you line up 100 millionaires, guys, less than 30% will have crypto. So I'm not saying don't have crypto, but what I'm saying is follow what successful people are doing. They all have a stock portfolio. It's time we do the same and we continually DCA, especially in these times. So, for myself, I guess just mini success story. I may as well mention it. I had a really, really good couple of trading weeks. I was able to withdraw 13 grand from the market, the most I've ever done in my life. And shout out to Zimright Ideas because 80% of those trades were from Zimright Ideas. So, not saying it's props to me, it's honestly props to the system. Like the app works. They've been killing it on gold. Like, honestly, all of the educators who have sent trade ideas, they've been popping like 90+%. So make sure you're staying coachable and taking those trades. Because me encanta el oro. You know what I'm saying? I love gold. I'm telling you. What is it? El oro es mi bebe. Is that it? I don't know. Must be. Hey, listen, I'm learning. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So make sure you're following the system. Because like I'm doing what I'm saying and I'm saying what I'm doing, guys. From that 13K, I put like 80% of it, 75, 80% back in stocks. Just immediately, like, yo, as soon as you get that withdrawal, like, boom, it should go in the stock crypto market. There should be no, all right, I'm going to put 90% of it to a watch, 10% of it to, no. Like the majority should be going back into the markets, whether it's stocks or whether it's into your trading account. I just want to re-emphasize that. But anyway, I've got two gifts for you guys, all right? I got two presents for you. The first present is this. I hope you lot are plugging into Patrick Kenny because not only does he dive into the option stuff, but he also dives into investment stuff. And I'm going to show you guys Patrick Kenny and Jordan Morgan's stock portfolio because, guys, it's basically copy and paste. So I want you guys to take photos of this and save this because I went through the time to make sure on the Zimright Live, what do they have? What do they own? What assets? And it's for you to do your own research, but this is literally copy and paste right here. So this is what Jordan Morgan has, guys. I'm not going to read it, but this is something for you to save. This is his stock portfolio. I'm going to slowly go down and you guys can take a photo or maybe I can put it in the chat. But as you can see, he's got diversification. He's got eBay, competitors with Amazon, doing billions of dollars of revenue every single year. He's also got some ETFs, some exchange traded funds, such as Fidelity. He's also got Figma, which is similar to Canva, but it's basically a little bit more technical where you can create your own, like the back end of presentations and stuff. He's got GameStop, which is in the entertainment space. As you know, GameStop back in 2020, there was that short squeeze where the price of GameStop went from literally $1 to $2 or so, and it rocketed up into the hundreds. Like people became millionaires. And this all started from Reddit. It started from a Reddit craze. So he's got GameStop in there. He's also got a combination of other things, such as Robinhood. Guys, Robinhood is a stock investing platform. Like you can see the diversification that he's got here. And I wouldn't recommend having your money in Robinhood because in their TOS, terms of service, they have title to your stock investments, not you. So you don't really want to have it in stock with Robinhood. You want to look at things like Fidelity, eToro, those kind of alternatives, but he's got those as investments. Then he's got Intel. I don't know if you guys remember in the 1990s. I mean, like, oh, no way. You can't see the screen? Rookie error. All right, cool. I'm going to share my screen, guys. One sec. Send request. Hey, Neri, can you accept the request so I can share my screen?
You should be.
Thank you. Say less. All right. See, I was given the gifts and you lot couldn't even see it. Crazy. All right, cool. Now you can see it. All right. So now you can like take a photo. Take your photos, right? This is Jordan Morgan. This is what he has right here. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. Cool, cool, cool. So I was talking about Intel. In the 1990s, Intel was even bigger than Apple, like legitimately. In fact, Intel is bigger than Apple and probably Microsoft. And so, even though it's an old school company, this is what we call a large cap stock with low volatility. Low. That means there's stability. This is the kind of thing that you hold on for 20, 30 years. Intel is not a company that you get in and out every 2, 3 months. But then he's also got Klarna. As we know, Klarna is where you can have those like payment plans, right? If you want to buy $100 item of clothes, you can go on a payment plan to pay that, I don't know, like pay it back $20 every single month or something like that, with interest, of course, right? I don't recommend doing that, but it's still a company that you can invest in, and it shows diversification. MicroStrategy, founded by Michael Saylor, guys. This is one of the largest institutional holders of Bitcoin in the entire globe, guys. They have hundreds of thousands worth of Bitcoin. So why not own some Bitcoin? True. But in the stock world, why don't you have a piece of Bitcoin through a company? You see what I'm saying? That just diversifies your portfolios massively. And then he's got things like Target, right, in the sort of groceries world, and then Uber. So you can see the variety here, okay? Nano is also an interesting company, guys. I think having one of the energy stocks is very, very important, because energy stocks are what we call typically small cap, but with high potential growth, high ROI. This is the type of stock that is higher risk. Why? Because it's a newer industry, and newer industries like medical cannabis or like energy or green energy, those are the industries that are more volatile, but like you can see high returns with that in the future. You don't want to have a large percent of your portfolio in it, but you want to have some exposure in there. Boom. So that was Jordan Morgan's. Now look at Patrick Kenny's. This is Patrick. Like, this is legit, by the way. Like, copy and paste, like from Zimri Live. I just looked at what they had on their trading view and I copy and pasted it. PayPal. We already know what PayPal is. You need to have a stock in the finance space. Target again. Webull, another stock investing platform. Snapchat, we spoke about this a lot. Having one of the social media companies is also very important. And then Paramount. Paramount is something that I own personally as well. There was that Paramount Netflix acquisition deal going on. And so having a Paramount or a Disney, I think that's like an absolute must. And then Mara Holdings, they're a Bitcoin mining company. Again, new industry, fast potential growth. I have some Mara myself. And then NVIDIA. I mean, NVIDIA, if it goes up 5%, guys, the entire tech industry goes up 10%. NVIDIA is like the Bitcoin, but for the tech space. Think of NVIDIA it's almost like the Apple of the 1990s or the early 2000s. If that moves, the entire tech industry moves as well. So it's very reliant on what NVIDIA does. And then you've got BlackRock, right? BlackRock is the largest investment manager in the entire globe. They manage about $13 trillion, guys. So why would you not have some exposure to what BlackRock are investing in as well? So this is a quick roundup. I'm happy to put this in the chat, but yeah, like take some photos if you like. And so in the last like 15 minutes, what I want to dive into is these are companies that you can invest in, publicly listed companies. We spoke about IPOs in the past, but what I want to touch on now is how do you analyze these companies? We know the technical side, right? Market structure is really simple stuff. You know your higher highs, your lower lows. You can tell on a larger time frame, on a 4 hour, on a daily, which by the way, when you're investing, you're really looking at the 1 hour plus. And to be honest, you're looking at the 4 hour plus. Like that's the main time frames, the 4 hour, the daily, and the weekly and the monthly. Why? Because it's on a bigger scale, right? So a lot of people, when it comes to investing, they're like, oh, like for example, like PayPal, like why is it, it's like near all-time high, or it hasn't gone down that much, so like it's not a good time to invest. But the thing is you're still thinking in this trading mindset of the 5-15 minute time frame. You're still looking at market structure with like a magnifying glass. But when it comes to investing, you need to look at it from an aerial view. You need to look at it from a bird's eye view. What's happening in the weekly and the monthly? Why? Because just because you can't invest in the project at like 5% lower than where it's at, it doesn't mean it's a bad investment. You got to think long term. And so I don't want you to miss out on like a 5-10% drop which leaves you missing out on like the appreciation of the asset for months to come. You don't want to have that type of FOMO. It's honestly better to get in than to like be patient and to wait for lower prices. That's the trick with investing. This is what I'm trying to say. Instead of being more patient, you want to be less patient. It's better to have some exposure than no exposure and price takes off. That's the kind of mindset you want, okay? So look, now we're going to look at the analysis side. Here's the thing. You guys know Patrick Kenny's 5-point criteria. Revenue growing recently, cash flow growing recently, cash flow positive, okay? Now, this is the basics. I'm going to run over one stock with these 5 things, and then we're going to dive into the bonus stuff, okay? So we're going to kind of go through this together. I'm going to need interaction in the YouTube, okay? Because I made a little bonus selection as well. So, boom, let's go to Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is the CoinGecko, but for stocks, okay? And we're going to dive into eBay. Should we do eBay? Should we do something else? Let's see Amazon. Let's do Amazon. Let's have a look at Amazon real quick. All right, cool. So this is Yahoo Finance. As you can see, Amazon per share. Remember, it's not per token. It's not per coin. It's $247. This is on Yahoo. Here's what we're going to do. The very first thing you're going to go to, guys, is the financials on the left-hand side. Click financials. Then on the financial side, this thing needs to go. On the financial side, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at revenue. Now go to my analysis. Is revenue growing? Guys, we're going to compare from 2022, right, which was 4 years ago, to TTM. TTM means trailing 12 months. Write that down. TTM, trailing 12 months. As you can see, the numbers here are from year to year. But TTM means is the current, like right now, 19th of July, back 12 months from 19th of July. So the question is this, is revenue growing recently? Well, let's look at it. 2025, right there to TTM. 716 billion. Right now, it's 742 billion. Is revenue growing recently? Say yes in the chat if it's a yes. Say no in the chat if it's a no. Let's have a look. Is revenue growing recently? Put yes in the chat if you believe it is. Put no if you think it isn't. There's a big delay. Okay, let's have a look. Cool. So the answer is revenue is growing. Oh, no way.
Someone turn the Aptos. Lions being speak of the dinosaur things and all set for that.
Well, I think he's coming back. I think we're still good. Yeah, as John Luke's kind of connecting in there for you guys. One thing I will say though is he does make a valid point when it comes down to like these points of like the stocks itself. You know, if you're not really participating into these stocks, I will say it's kind of something that you want to get yourself into with it. Here, let me get him to do this real quick. He's coming. He's good. I think he's alive. I think he's coming. Yeah, he's about to connect right now. He should be connecting right now, guys. Give me a second.
Neri, are we good?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, sweet. Cool. All right, good to hear we're good, guys. Thank you for chipping in. Some dodgy Wi-Fi, but back online, all right? So I'm going to go through this. I'm not going to go look at the chat just to make things simpler. But yes, the answer is revenue is growing recently. If you go to Amazon and you can see from 2025 to TTM, it's growing recently. Perfect. That was number 2. But either way, is revenue growing? So what we've got to do is we've got to look at 2022 to TTM. 513 billion, 742 billion. The answer is yes. So number 1 and number 2, the answer is yes. Is cash flow growing? Now we know what cash flow is. That is the amount of free cash that they have on hand to invest into, let's say, research and development, R&D, to invest into, I don't know, like it could be employee wages, expenditures, whatever it is. Let's have a look. Now, from the financial section, guys, you have to move to the cash flow side. Let's have a look. Up here, income statement, and we go to cash flow. And that's going to show us. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at free cash flow on the bottom, and we're going to see that on the cash flow side, from 2022, guys, they were negative $16.8 billion. And this is for Amazon. Now free cash flow is negative 2.4. So it's still negative, but is cash flow growing? The answer is yes. So that's 3 out of 3. Is cash flow growing recently? Let's have a look. From 2025 to now, 2025, 7.7 billion. Now we're negative 2.4 billion. You know what that means, guys? That means that cash flow is not growing recently. So we're 3 out of 4. Okay. 3 ticks out of 4 ticks. The last one is cash flow positive. Let's have a look. No. TTM right now, 19th of July, 2026, cash flow is negative. So you know what that means? We're 3 out of 5. This is not an A grade stock. It's not a B grade stock. It's a C grade stock. Why? Because it's 3 out of 5 ticks. If it was 4 out of 5 ticks, we'd say it's a B grade stock. If it's 5 out of 5 ticks, we'd say it's an A grade stock. Put a 10 in the chat if this is making sense. Put a 10 if this is making sense. I'm not going to look at the chat, but I'm going to assume that you guys are interacting. Brilliant. So now, for those of you who are a little bit more intermediate, a little bit more advanced, so like, hey, listen, like I got these 5 points. I understand the technicals. I understand market structure. So I know kind of the right price range I want to enter with these investments on TradingView. And now I understand the basics of fundamentals. But Jean-Luc, like, is there like a next level? Is there an intermediate advanced? There is. Here's what it is. Bonus. Bonus. For those of you who are like, I need a little bit more. Hey, Jean-Luc, I'm not putting in $100, $200 in this. I'm putting in 5,000. I'm putting in 10,000. Like, I really want to be sure that this is going to be a very good investment for me. And there's no guarantee, but at least you can increase the probabilities that you're making the right decision. That's what this is all about. Here's the 3 bonuses. Now we're going to go from the financial section back to the summary page, okay? This is important, very important. And just so you know, this is exactly what I do when it comes to stock investing. I'm grading this. I'm grading this on my scale. The first thing is EPS. Guys, what does this mean? This is earnings per share. Very, very simple. This is the profit that the company has in comparisons to what they earn per share. How much a company earns per share. That is simply what it is. Because remember, it's not per token in crypto, it's per share. So what we want is we want a positive EPS. We want to know that what the company is earning is positive to the number of shares that are out there. So 8.36, super basic. That's a positive number. So for number 6, that gets a tick. Now let's look at number 7. Is beta positive or negative? What is beta? Beta is the volatility of the stock compared to the entire market. That was meant to say market, by the way. So what you want to do is you want to understand that a positive beta, which means like around 1.0, it shows that there's good volatility with the stock in comparison to the market of that industry. If you have a negative beta, that means that the volatility is low, super, super low. And actually that stock might be going in the opposite direction to the entire market. I'm going to repeat that one more time. If the beta is near 1, that means it's in line with the market's volatility. If the beta is negative, it means it could go in the opposite direction to the entire market when it comes to price. So what you want is you want a beta that's around 1.0. If the beta is more than that, if it's 2.0 or above, that stock is exceptionally volatile. Remember, volatility isn't bad, but it's higher risk. So 2.0, super, super volatile. 1.0, it's in line with the market's volatility. Negative beta, that's something that you're not really looking for. Why? Because it might move in the opposite direction to where the market is. Now, let's have a look at the beta here. For Amazon, 1.46. Perfect. Perfect. This is volatility that's in line with the market of that industry. Now, keep in mind, guys, Amazon is what we call a blue chip stock. What that means is Amazon is a powerhouse. It's a very large cap stock. That means that you're not going to get crazy volatility, but you're also not going to get like no movement whatsoever. I don't know what the percent annually you can expect, but probably like slightly better. You know, it's probably like better than the S&P 500, better than NASDAQ. Maybe you're looking at a 15 to 20% every year, something around that line. Probably less than that, more like 15 to 18%. So that is beta. And for us, that gets a tick because the beta is positive. Now, number 8, is volume aligning with the stock market and its industry? Now, with this number 8, guys, what you want to understand is there's no perfect volume. There's no this volume is amazing, this volume is terrible. But what there is you're looking for a stock that has a good amount of volume, because otherwise there's no trading going on. There's no investing going on. And that could be a negative sign because it's a dead stock. There's no demand for the stock. Remember, you need demand in order for price to rise. If you want appreciation for something, you need demand. And so here with Amazon, the volume is 43.5 million. The average volume is 49.3 million. So what we're looking at here is, by the way, this is 24-hour volume. So 24-hour volume is lower than the average volume that we expect for this asset. Now, when it comes to investing, do you remember with crypto, we only invest on red days? Write that down if you don't know. We only invest on red days in crypto. A red day is where that crypto is negative. The price is lower than where it was 24 hours ago. Now, if I go to CoinGecko, I'm giving some mad game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit gassed. Like this is good stuff. I'm telling you. So look, let's go to a crypto and see what I'm saying. You see look at this 24-hour volume. Bitcoin negative 0.3. What else we got? Tron negative 1.4. Hyperliquid negative 11%. What that means is, guys, these are the cryptos you're investing in because in the past 24 hours, they're negative. Guess what? I'm going to give you one extra secret sauce. When it comes to stocks, what are we looking for, guys? Well, we're looking for volume to be in line or close to the average volume, because if it's exceptionally low, the demand may not be there, and therefore it might not be a good day to invest in it. Volume isn't the deciding factor of whether or not you invest in that asset, but it's something to consider. It's a factor to think about before you dive into. Volume combined with all of the other things that you're looking at with stock analysis, guys, is what you want to think about, right? So we got our 5-point criteria, and then we got our extra 3. With volume, guys, aligning with a stock in its industry, I'm going to give Amazon a tick. It's slightly lower than the average volume, but it's still fairly in line with it. The other thing that you can do, by the way, guys, the other thing that you can do is compare Amazon to another company within its industry. If I go to eBay and I compare the summary page, because this is the summary page, with Amazon, well, hold on a minute. eBay is matching its average volume. Amazon isn't. So now I'm looking at another company in that industry, another competitor, and I'm going, well, there's not more volume in eBay, but comparative to its average, it's more similar than Amazon. Why is that? That's when you can go deeper into the technicals and actually look at what's actually going on. If you even go to the news and you search eBay, you search Amazon, you might find some positive news about eBay, which is why there's higher volume. You might find negative news of Amazon, which is maybe why there's less. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm saying here. Put a 10 in the chat if this is making some sense. I know I'm diving in fairly intermediate, but I hope this makes sense. Put a 10 in the chat if you guys are understanding what I'm talking about here. And then, as you can see here, you can rate the stock out of 8. So with Amazon, guys, it didn't tick 2 of these. So it was a 3 out of 5, but it ticked all 3 of these bonuses. So you know what that is? Well, 8 minus 3 is 5, so it's a 5 out of 8. It's a 5 out of 8. Put a 10 in the chat if this is making sense. 10 if this is making sense. Cool. You could take a photo of this as well. You know, this is actually like useful information I want you guys to keep in mind. Let's have a look at the stream. Is it making sense? Let's see. Okay, I can't connect to the chat, so I'm just going to assume that you guys understood most of this. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys hopping on this SNL. As I said, I wanted to dive into the investing side. I want to re-emphasize the importance of trading profits, guys. You got to have a good % of it going back into the stock portfolio, going back into the crypto portfolio. If you guys have questions on, hey, Jean-Luc, what's the best crypto exchange or crypto wallet to hold my money? I got it. We've got the answers right here in the community. Jean-Luc, what's the best app to have when it comes to stock investing and why? Boom, we got the answers. You got Webull, you got Fidelity, you got eToro. We should all have access to a couple of these, 1 or 2 of these, and we should also be DCAing whilst we're DCAing in crypto as well. Very, very important. I appreciate you guys hopping on this call. I hope you learned one or two things. If you have questions, message in the Discord at the person. We're all there and active. Neri, anything else that you wanted to mention to close things out?
And that's it. Let's get it.